as a man, if you don't have sense, shut the fuck up. I find you more attractive when you actually shut the fuck up. Because when you open your mouth and what is coming out of your mouth is jargons. If possible, I won't slap person because why you no guesses? Let me tell you about the most useless conversation I had 2 days ago on the train. This man walks up to me with his friend, right? They're having a conversation. He says hi, polite. I said hi back. And then he was like, oh, so where do you live? And I'm like, excuse me, do you want to kidnap me? And he's like, oh, no, I'm just trying to make a conversation. I said, oh, okay, none of your business. What happened? And then he proceeded to say, oh, so what's your next stop? I said, when I get off, you know. And then he was like, so what's your name? I said, Alex. Obviously a lie. And he was like, Alex, no, I mean your real name. And I said, Alexa. He was like, no, what's your native name? I said, I don't have a native name. It was like, impossible. As a Nigerian or even as Africans, it's a must for you to have a native name or a traditional name. That's how I'm able to know your character. Or that's how I'm able to know who you belong to. I said, character? Excuse me? And then he stared at me like I committed national identity fraud. You get what I mean? So that work finished. He was like, oh, but let's go back to the native name thing though. I'm first of all, I'm older than you. Secondly, I'm a historian, so I'm smarter than you. I said, excuse me, so far you haven't said anything smart. So for somebody who is an historian and older than me, you're quite dumb, if you ask me. And then he stared at me and was like, oh, I like you. I like this banter we're having. That give me your number and or your Instagram. And I said, no. He was like, oh, okay, your preference. And then he proceeded to say, are you sure you don't want to give me your number? And then he said in Yoruba, he didn't realize that I actually understand Yoruba. He was like, my fair. I like he was just saying something about the fact that I like that you're strong-willed. My fair. I mean, I'm just there looking at him. And then he went from, oh, I don't know why you don't want to give me your number. You know, I know you're a model. I can help you. You never can tell who can secure jobs for you. And then he started name dropping. He started mentioning campaigns and then telling me, oh, do you see that model on that? Have you seen that model on that campaign? That's my cousin. And then I'm like, okay. So at this point in time, my voice is rising up because I've had to say no like more than 5 times. So he's like, oh, don't raise your voice, blah, blah, blah. And then he stopped when I stopped raising my voice, right? And then he proceeded to go full on begging. This man proceeded to go full on begging. Oh yeah, now give me your number now, please. Oh yeah, please give me your number. Or even take my number. It was like, take my number. How pathetic can you be? At this point in time, I just dropped off the next station. That was not even my stop. I had to drop off because the fuck.